Before the darkness that preceded the loss of the sun's light, there was the coldness of death hidden behind the warmth of life. Love was portrayed in terms of economic balance and individual prosperity in the systematic processes of the world. The love of money had developed into what was referred to as industries. These industries' sole purpose was to make money. It fed on anything and everything that profited in financial gain. The fruit of such often resulted in death, and always, when accepted as it was, loss of morality. This caused the hearts of the affected to be enslaved by darkness long before the lights went out. Such began by deceiving with truth to accomplish using what they had to represent justifying their decision to give away the next generation's ability to choose. Because of the moral compromises, they lost position to support righteousness as unrighteousness took over the land, and eventually they had no means to produce their own food as manufacturers genetically redesigned the produce seed to require professional tactics beyond the people's ability. Ultimately, freedom was agreed to be forfeited from times of convenience in the name of freedom. Love was subtracted from the equations that determined the next generation's outcome until there was no option left to choose other than submission. The children were accursed with teachings and doctrines not of God. The world had become overrun with wickedness, and the people were afraid. They rejoiced from a traditional understanding of how to not acknowledge truth. They hid in their agreement to glorify the bad to accomplish prevailing for good. They were truly brave. They had heart beyond the lies of the grave. In the midst of their confusion, it was the name Jesus that caused many of them to be saved, though the teachings of peace had convinced many not to fight, for in past times they had believed that they were free. In their succession, they unknowingly agreed to forfeit the battle that their children needed them to have fought to give way to victory over deceit and the destruction of evil that unrighteousness brings. Currency was known to be less than the labors of the people accomplished, and such knowledge became the means of such industrial connections that had united in the love of money, and as the murder of babies was accepted, support of this became mandatory. Many felt God had betrayed them. He had given no sign, no way for them to know this could happen. So they were quick to take sides with the solution to the population growth and the need to prosper that exceeded the goal that was representing of the dollar. They were voting to be marked by their willingness to go with the flow. Their faith was being purchased, and their heritage in Christ was being murdered. All they had needed was to draw near to God in deed and in truth to have redeemed the time. God remained good.